What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Loud Bostonian. Today I'll be doing my review of the new Amazon Prime original series, The Boys. The Boys is a comic book adaptation of the comic of the same name created by Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis, anyone who's in the comic world will know, is the creator of such crazy dark comics as Preacher. He created Hellblazer for that's John Constantine for the people that don't know comics. And he also had crazy runs on The Punisher that were some of the best that The Punisher ever had. And he is known for bringing the dark, bringing the gritty, bringing the story that, more mature audience could really, really love. So I was on board for this series coming out from the jump. I love The Boys. I think The Boys is one of the best comics I've ever read. It was funny story about The Boys. It was canceled by DC very early because they didn't like the anti-superhero message it kind of sends. Now, that kind of leads right into what the discussion about the TV series is. This show is set in a world where superheroes, they do heroic stuff, but they're real assholes. Complete and utter pieces of shit. And the show does a great job of capturing it. The comic does a better job of capturing it. You can't judge the show yet. It's only got 8 episodes, one season, and it's not a like-for-like comparison to the first book. They don't take everything from the first book and put it in the first season. They do definitely tell, they take from a couple of the other books and throw some random stuff here and there in there. They tell their own story in some ways, but it is a great first season. It is from the jump, man, I was mind blown at some of the cinematography they were able to capture and some of the things they were able to take out of the pages of the book and bring on the screen. And this is going to be a heavily spoiler review, guys, but it's okay because you've had plenty of time, all of 4 days to watch the show. So spoiler warning for sure. But The Boys is great. It is violent. It is dark. It has some seriously disturbing subject matters in it. And it is everything that the comic adaptation of The Boys needed to be. And it's funny enough, I forgot Seth Rogen was part of this. He's the one who actually was able to, him and Evan Goldberg, is it Evan Goldberg? I think Evan Goldberg is his writing partner. They were able to bring Preacher to the main, to the small screen. And then after that, they were tasked to bring this to the small screen as well as an executive producer on The Boys. So that guy's knee deep in Garth Ennis stuff. So clearly that's the comic stuff that really appealed to him as a kid. So, but he's got a small cameo in the first season. It's very funny. But this show, they really hit you home, man. Like I said, this show is basically an amalgam of all the superheroes you've ever seen put into a world where they are awful versions of themselves. There are several characters. Homelander is basically your Captain America Superman combo, and he is just all sorts of fucking crazy. And there's shit that he does in this series that is mind-blowing. When you see him just rip through people with his laser eyes, like the heat vision beams, it is gory, it is bloody, it is incredibly visual, and I love it. And there's other characters that do very similar stuff. One of the biggest things, that always jumped out at me in the comics is in the first book, one of the main characters of the Boys, Huey, he has his girlfriend basically just smashed into oblivion when a speedster character by the name of A-Train flies through her while he's running full speed. In the comics, he's chasing down a bad guy, and in pursuit of the bad guy, Huey's girlfriend is just smashed to bits. Basically instantly turned into a puddle of blood and guts, except for her hands, which Huey's holding. And it kind of sets the character off on this arc of hating superheroes and wanting to get revenge for what happened to him and his girlfriend. And that's pretty much the entire plot of the entire first season. There are these characters, I should probably have touched on this first, but hey, we're jumping out of order here, guys. There's these characters who are considered the Boys, who are led by Carl Urban's character, Billy Butcher, Billy Butcher gets all these people together who hate superheroes for the same reason that Huey does. Bad shit has happened to them in their past with superheroes, and they want to get their payback on them. So your first glimpse into this world is through the eyes of Huey, who, by the way, Huey in the comics, character was designed to look just like Simon Pegg. Funny enough, Simon Pegg plays Huey's dad in this series. I was wondering why they didn't task Simon Pegg. I mean, he's not so old that you couldn't bring him into it, but in the comics, Huey is supposed to be on the younger side, so it makes sense that they wouldn't go that way. But casting him as the dad was hilarious. When I saw him show up, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know he was even in this. But basic design for the character was based on Simon Pegg, so to see him show up was awesome. But let's just run down the list of the boys and how they are in this world, how the characters interact. Karl Urban as Billy Butcher. Probably the best character in the entire fucking series so far. I knew he would be, but he is so good, and he delivers every scene he's in. He steals every line he says. He delivers so well and so believable. He is Billy Butcher. You believe that Karl Urban has transformed into this character who despises superheroes, specifically Homelander, and he'll do anything to get payback on all of them. Even ones who'd never done anything to him. A soup is a soup in his eyes, and he wants to fucking kill them all. Huey, I don't know the actor who plays Huey, but he did a great job. He really like shows you the like vulnerable side of the boys, the person that maybe doesn't want to be doing all this revenge business at all, but he feels like he has to because he owes it to Robin, his ex-girlfriend who died, like I previously said, and he doesn't want to let down the boys. But he gets into some dark shit himself. He's the first one in the group to kill a superhero, so it's pretty cool when that goes down. In the comics, it's a little different. He does some shit in the comics that is a little more aggressive than what he does to even in the first season. But when he kills that invisible superhero, it is fucking nuts. So, but yeah, it's awesome. The show is so good. And who else is in there? You got Mother's Milk. I don't know the character. I apologize for not knowing the actors' names. I should have looked into it. I just finished watching it. But Mother's Milk in the comics is like super badass and like always like making like jokes and like he's basically the enforcer of the group. It seems like this series did a good job of more leaning into his family life and showing that he's got a family to lose and like how the stakes really affect him. I really like that side of seeing Mother's Milk. I thought it was really good. My second favorite in the boys was probably the Frenchman, or Frenchie as they call him in the show. He was great. Everything he did in the series was great. He was so funny. Everything he did was so funny, and he wasn't supposed to be the comic relief, but somehow anytime he was given a line that he had to say, he just delivered it so well, and I found myself smiling every time he did something. There's a particular scene in the show where, like I said, heavy spoilers, guys. They have captured one of the superheroes that they're trying to get information from, and his whole thing is he loves superheroes. He says something along the lines of he likes to figure out what their weaknesses are so that he can crack it. He loves solving puzzles, that sort of thing. So they get the superhero who has diamond skin and can turn invisible. I can't remember the goddamn guy's name. They said it so many times in the series. It's such a big plot line. For some reason, it's escaping me right now. But so he can't figure it out, and he's watching this turtle documentary on TV, and he sees the turtle duck into its shell, and he goes, voila! And he's totally French, so it's awesome. And he runs in there, and he's like, I need to shock this fucker. And he goes in, and they electrocute the guy, and he realizes that you can't penetrate the skin to torture this guy for information, but you could shove a bomb up his ass. And that's actually the first hero that Huey kills. He ends up shooting the bomb off to blow him up. But it is hilarious when it happens, and my God, it was just seeing his reaction to these things. And he leads directly into the final member of the boys, who is not a boy. It's Kimiko, or is in the comics she's referred to as just the female of the species, and that is hilarious because I didn't even realize. I truthfully have never read all the comics of the boys, but I had no idea her name was Kimiko at all. She never even really has a name in the comics, so it's pretty interesting. But she did great. She was exactly like the character in the comics, ferocious when she's attacking people. I do like the angle that they took where they gave her superpowers right off the bat, so she is a soup on the boys team, which I'm pretty sure in the comics she's just a regular person like everybody else, but not really, because the plot line of the series, which differs from the comics, is the series they're trying to track down why all the superheroes are using this chemical called Compound V, where in the comic series, Compound V is given to the boys by the government so that they can hunt down the superheroes. So basically, it's a little flip-flop there, and maybe Season 2 will dive into that. Kind of like how Preacher Season 1 was like really Preacher Season 0.5, because it kind of told the pre-story of the road trip, which kicks off Preacher. Maybe this is the pre-story that's going to kick off the series of, The Boys. So next season, they'll probably all get dosed up with Compound V so they can kick superhero ass on a level-to-level basis. But they didn't need it in this first season. Everything in this first season was great. I love that they were not powered enough to take these people out, so it made it even better when they got one of them, you know? But it is a great goddamn show, guys. It is violent, it is bloody, it is gruesome. It's everything that a mature comic series should be. And I might go start rewatching it again because I thought it was that good that I would rewatch the whole fucking thing right now. In fact, I think I'm going to. That's going to do it for my review on The Boys, guys. It was fucking great. I loved it. I thought that it was the best comic book adaptation of a show that I've seen yet. It was so close to how impactful the source material was on me that I couldn't wait to see it. And Carl Urban steals the show. He is so good. And if he doesn't get nominated for an Emmy, it's a shame because he literally becomes Billy Butcher. It's fantastic. I want to know what you guys think. Did you guys like The Boys? What's your favorite comic book adaptation show that's come out thus far? Did you think that this ranks as good as the comic series, if you're a reader of the comics? For me, it gave me everything I wanted, but I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks.